You know, I don't really like saying this word, but I'm gonna say it. I hate hoses. They're always a tangled mess. My reel is always pulling out of the brick for some reason. Maybe I've left them out in my driveway and ran over them, maybe in the grass, ran over them 3 or 4 different times, had to replace all those hoses. They're just an absolute mess. I feel like they're always in the way. So I bought the 4 most popular hose reels from budget to premium and put them through the TLR gauntlet. I tested these hose reels on installation, design, overall durability. I pulled the hoses on these things over 450 times to see which one of them was most durable because I'm tired of wasting money on junk. And I can't lie to you, going into this, I had a hose reel that I expected to win, but turns out it actually was not that impressive compared to all the other ones at all. So if you own or rent your own house, chances are you have a hose. I mean, you have to water your grass or plants or, you know, play toys for your kids. And everybody's probably got their own unique set of challenges with hoses. For me, like I've said, I've got a lot of challenges with it. Number one, chief challenge being just putting it away. I hate winding hoses up. I don't know why, I always tear up these landscaping beds right here. It's just a mess. Or I'll leave them out, run over them with the mower because I think, like, you know, it's not that high, but invariably I end up nicking part of the hose. This right here is probably the 5th or 6th different hose that I've replaced in my front yard. And each one of these are the heavy duty kinds. They're over $100. So I spent almost $700 on hoses just because out of sheer laziness, honestly. So after I cut this hose, after a July 4th party, I decided I'm done with it. I'm no longer wasting money on hoses. I'm gonna find something that's so easy, makes this process so much easier that I'm not wasting money anymore. So after replacing this hose for the 5th time, no joke, in 2 years, I'm not over exaggerating that, I'm really lazy. I decided I'm not doing it anymore. I'm not wasting money on any more hoses. I'm done. I'm done with the mess. I'm done with the wasted money. I'm over it. And as these hose reels started piling in, I thought, is this just a bunch of junk? Was this a bunch of wasted money? I don't know, they didn't look overly impressive out of the box. But nevertheless, I pushed on and gave each one of these hose reels their own fair shot. I tested these hose reels on installation time and difficulty, the overall design and structure of each one of these, and then how durable they are. I pulled these out over 500 times to see which one was the most durable. And obviously talked about cost and how that weighs in these tests as well. And by the end of this video, I'm positive you're gonna know which one of these hose reels is best, which one you should spend your hard-earned money on. It's tough out here these days. So first up, I wanna see how long each one of these hose reels takes to mount. I've heard some crazy horror stories about some of these being super, super difficult to mount. So I'm gonna time how long it takes me to put each one of these up. And while I'm getting these hose reels set up, I figured it was a good time to talk about today's sponsor, Aura. Look, I'm not the kind of guy that is really concerned with what's going on with my stuff and on the internet and all that. Like, I don't really care about that much. But the truth is, data leaks are no joke anymore. So apparently it's, at this point, ridiculously easy for your info to end up in the wrong hands without you even knowing it. And watch this. Aura makes this entire mess way easier to take care of. It monitors your personal information across the dark web, alerts you if your passwords or accounts were exposed, and can even clear up spam and robocalls. Aura's plan also includes a VPN, antivirus, and credit monitoring all in one. I've been using it for a while now, and the peace of mind is absolutely worth it. You can try it 100% free for 14 days just using aura.com/thelawnreview. And there's also a link in my description. Thanks again, Aura, for sponsoring this video. Now we're back to it. So from an installation perspective, not a lot differentiating that one, and that one. This one, the Giraffe, was obviously a clear loser, but here's how I'm ranking these things from an installation perspective. But how do each one of these look and feel? It's important that they look good because they're mounted pretty permanently on your house or in your landscaping bed. So it's important, in my opinion, for it to look good, but you can't really, from your perspective or the viewer's perspective, you can't really tell how it feels, which I feel is important because that's a pretty good indicator of how well it's gonna hold up to the elements. These two, the Hoselink and the Vego, are, as you can see, basically carbon copies of each other. I mean, yeah, but even the hoses, they're so similar. They're pretty dang close to each other. The Giraffe hose reel feels really durable. I will say that I kind of like the sleekness of the Vego and the Hoselink a little bit more than the Giraffe. And just a kind of sneak peek for what's coming down the line, the Giraffe actually kind of had some difficulty when I put it through the gauntlet, the TLR, like, you know, I pulled each one of these out to see how durable they were over and over and over again. It felt all right, but there were a few issues started to appear, I'll say. And then the hose itself for the spray wand is pretty cool, but I will say that it does definitely feel a little bit cheaper than the Hoselink and the Vego. These both feel really beefy. This one, I mean, you can replace it if you want to, but just the one that comes with it to me kind of feels like cheap plasticky material. And then this Vevor is a much smaller version. It's a little bit more discreet. It does have the smaller diameter hose on it. I know that I tried to get the larger one, so I'm not sure what happened there. The spray apparatus, whatever you want to call it, is way different. It kind of operates kind of like one of those Hot Shots little sprayers where you can twist it, but you don't have the same flexibility that you do with the other three options. You're basically like spraying or shooting a stream. Well, yeah, you can replace this one. It'd be nice for them to give you one that's a little bit more beefy. But the overall construction, I will say that this one feels a little bit cheaper. Kind of rattles a little bit more than these, I guess. It rattles a little bit more. I would say from an overall design and durability look, honestly, I'm gonna go with the Hoselink just because it feels a little bit beefier, and this spray one is a little bit, I guess, maybe slightly cooler. I don't know. There's really not a whole lot differentiating these. Now it's time for what I would consider the most important part about this test, is just how durable each one of these hose reels is. I'm gonna put it through the TLR gauntlet, basically pull these hose reels back and just let it go over and over and over again and see how durable the internal components of these things are. That Giraffe one feels like it's about to explode at any second. About 15 pulls in and the Vevor broke. Luckily this part's replaceable, but just FYI. That Vego one's kind of getting a little annoying. The springs in it are super, super tight, which I guess is good and bad, I don't know. All right, from a durability perspective, both these had pretty fatal errors, in my opinion. The thing completely broke on the Vevor, and then it also broke on the Giraffe. And then this one just, you could just tell it's feeling rough after being pulled back and forth that many times, which is, you know, that's probably to be expected. These two both felt great. I will say that during the durability test, I got to tell kind of the difference between the Vego and the Hoselink. Here, I'll give you a little mini example right here. So the Hoselink just retracts back up on itself no matter what. With the Vego, there's a fine line. You hear that click and it stops. You gotta go like here. See what I mean? So it's real touchy. See? Being 30 feet away from it, I've got no touch for this. Like, I can't tell when it's clicked and when it's good. With the Hoselink, it still feels like it did right when I started. Doesn't matter. This one, you gotta get it right. So from a durability perspective, these two definitely shined, whereas the other two felt like plastic, felt cheap, and they broke like accordingly. So in terms of price of these hose reels, it's kind of hard to say, you know, which one is more expensive, because each hose reel brand has different sizes, different lengths for each hose, and options, configurations, the whole 9 yards. But by and large, the Hoselink is going to be the most premium option out of all of them. The one that I had is about $280, $250 to $280, depending on where you get it, when you get it, the whole 9 yards. Right below that is going to be the Vego. That's like another premium option. They look super similar, but it's a little bit more affordable than the Hoselink. And then below that will be the Giraffe, not by much, but it's a little bit more affordable than the Vego. And then at the very bottom is gonna be the Vevor option. So it's gonna be like your definite budget hose reel. So after comparing performance and prices, it kind of makes the budget versus premium option kind of question a little bit more interesting, right? Is the Hoselink $120 to $150 better than the Vevor. Yeah, I mean, it had a break right here, which, you know, is terrible, but like, could you just replace this for like $3 or something and then get a beefier little hose sprayer, whatever? You know, it's a really interesting question. But I don't know that I would say this is $150 better than the Vevor. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's better, but is it that much better? So after looking at how much each one of these cost and then the overall durability, I realized I had not tested them with the water on. So I'm also gonna throw them through there. I mean, right off the bat, before I test this with water on, I don't anticipate a big change. My favorite probably was the Hoselink, followed by the Vevor, but we'll see when water kicks on if that changes anything. So again, I'm not really expecting a big change. Vego's spraying pretty far. See how that compares to the Hoselink, the more premium options. I would say the Vego actually shoots a little bit further than the Hoselink. Let's see. Vevor. It's pretty negligible. Pretty dang close. Maybe the Hoselink goes a little further actually. But in terms of retractability with the water on, pretty similar. See the Vego, I don't know what the deal is. Now looking at the Vevor, feels just so much smaller and cheaper, honestly, than those two. It's got some weird options. Okay, so standing about where I was, you're getting about the same spray distance with this Vevor as you are with the other two. Not a whole lot of difference there. The water stream is a little bit smaller. I think it's a smaller hose. Outer diameter is definitely smaller. And then with the Giraffe, ooh, see, I mean, man, there's a lot of movement here. I just feel like this is not gonna stand the test of time. They all pretty much spray the same distance, it looks like. A little bit more water coming through than the Vevor. I think that's just the hose diameter on the inside of it. It's a little bit bigger, it appears. I tried to get the same one, 5/8, but I don't know if they didn't send me the right one or what. But so all in all, I mean, the performance doesn't really change at all when it's on versus off. So honestly, I thought this review was gonna be pretty straightforward, cut and dry. But like I said, the price thing kind of confuses me. I would say, like, if I'm ranking this or talking to a friend and saying, well, you are my friends, but you know what I mean. If I'm talking to one of my best friends, I'm like, hey, depends on a lot of factors, but I'm thinking Vego is out just because that was really annoying. The fact that you had to pull it like at a very, very, you know, concentrated, like very specific point and then let it go. Really annoying to me. The Hoselink is like the creme de la creme. It's the best for sure. Then I thought the Giraffe coming into it, just because I've seen a lot of ads from people on YouTube about the Giraffe. A lot of influencers have been looking at this. I thought it was gonna be great. It honestly feels like cheap plastic. The Vevor, in my opinion, feels better than the Giraffe. It's cheaper too. Granted, this thing did break, but this one was just completely out of control on the pullbacks, and I know like it's gonna break eventually, like catastrophically break. So, I mean, you see that? It's insane. This one's a little bit more in control, I feel like. So you pull it back. It's gentle. And the Hoselink's obviously like real world gentle. And I gave a little teaser at the beginning of this video. I said the one that I expected to win did not. The Vego, I really expected. It's a little bit cheaper. It looks really cool. I like that green color. Thought it was gonna win, but it was a real pain to get it to recoil up on itself. From the premium options, definitely the Hoselink. Just spend a couple extra more dollars if you're going premium. From the two budget ones, I really thought the Giraffe was gonna win. I've seen a lot of YouTubers advertising it, but I really think the Vevor's a little bit better if you're trying to save money from the two low-end options, I guess. Giraffe's a low-end option. I definitely go ahead and spin that on the Vevor. It feels a little bit tighter, like I was alluding to earlier. This one just, I don't know, like it feels real loose and like any moment now. it's gonna break on itself. Whereas this one just feels, you know, maybe a little bit more simple. It doesn't really feel like it's gonna break on me. So there you have it. I'd go with the Hoselink or the Vevor, just depending on what you're looking for. The other two options in the middle, kind of just don't even waste your time on it. Guys, thanks so much for checking out this video. Until next time, keep cutting. See y'all again. Peace.